I feel like all powerlifters should do this anyway.
Yes. You know what you could do? You could work on your T-spine mobility, and you probably add 25 pounds to your bench. You don't even have to add any muscle. You just have to add mobility. It's like, come on, man. Hey, Stuart Locke. I'm here at elitefts. We are going to be taking Naomi through a bench session today. Got a little bit of shoulder funniness going on, so we're going to do a short assessment, see what's happening there, and we're going to give her some corrective exercises and then take her heavy enough on bench to see if it worked. Stay tuned. So we are going to just ask Naomi some really, really simple questions, trying to figure out what the actual issue is. So if I'm to understand correctly, it seems like when you get fatigued, this arm just doesn't feel like it's doing what it's supposed to do, right?
Yeah, so as soon as I go to press, this one just flares out like uncontrollably.
Okay.
So I end up having to press more through the left and I end up coming up wonky.
Okay. And then so you end up with just kind of this uneven lockout.
Yes.
And then do you feel like you can't drive through that arm?
Yeah.
Okay.
It
All
feels like there's a lot less strength in it on this side than on the left.
Okay. Yeah, so that kind of like feeds into my initial hypothesis, which is I think that it's likely our body likes to do one thing as opposed to multiple things, right? So if that shoulder feels like it gets wonky, it's likely that shoulder blade's kind of moving in space. And then instead of that shoulder blade being stable and then us being able to just move through the shoulder joint, we're having to move through the shoulder blade joint and then also the shoulder joint.
Yeah, so it's a lot less stable.
It's a lot less stable. And then unstable is weak, right? So easy fix. So first thing we're gonna go through is we're just gonna test kind of your front raise.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably easiest if you just kind of face towards camera and then just show a front raise. Okay, so what you can see here as she gets overhead, her right shoulder is up in her ear, right? So this kind of shows us that scalenes are tight, traps are tight. And if the upper trap's tight, the lower trap's gonna be lengthened, which means the lower trap's gonna be weak. So you can come back down, and then I want you to turn 180 degrees, and then I want you to slowly, arms overhead. And so as we get into this overhead position, you notice that this side lengthens pretty naturally, and then this side just kind of like clunks out and scoops out. So she actually has more space between her rib cage and her shoulder blade here compared to here, which kind of rides into that same idea or thought that it is likely tightness in the scalene, tightness in the trap, and then kind of the rhomboid in the low trap not really doing their job. The last one we're going to assess is her thoracic rotations. Just go ahead and sit on the bench real quick. And just rotate. She's stiff. You got a stiffer T-spine than me, dude. Rotate the other way. Yeah, so bilaterally super, super stiff. And so that's additionally gonna make things hard, right? So if we lack the capacity for thoracic rotation, we'll typically lack the capacity for thoracic extension. If we lack the capacity for thoracic extension, we're gonna have a harder time keeping our shoulder blades in the right spot. And based on the benches that I've seen from you, your T-spine is kind of extended, but not super extended. And then your feet are cranked back, so it's a lot of lumbar extension, which is gonna kind of roll into the same issue again, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah, because it's like, if your T-spine's here, and then you're benching, that shoulder blade's got anywhere to go, right? But if we're forced into enough thoracic extension, we should be able to fix that. So first thing we're gonna do with her is just a barbell trap smash. It's gonna be super painful. I apologize in advance. We're gonna get into that now. All right, so all we're doing, we've loaded up some weight on a bar in a rack. So she's gonna come underneath, she's gonna face sideways, she's gonna take that crappy trap, she's gonna pin it underneath here, and then she's literally just gonna move her arm overhead as she's pushing hard up into the bar. You're gonna see her make some ugly faces because it hurts a lot, but that's how you know it's working. All right, so let's get into it.
Ready for the pain. Oh, already hurts.
Yeah, push up hard, there you go.
And then just hold?
Yeah, and then once you get into that really painful position, inhale super hard, and then as you exhale, push further into it.
Oh.
And now come back down, do the same thing again. So each time she's able to get a little bit further. Now breathe in again, push. There you go, and down, we're gonna go with one more rep.
Oh, I'm getting my arm higher.
There you go. Look at this, it's magic. There you go.
Oh.
There you go, and relax. So super simple thing that you can do to kind of work on that. And you can notice here, even just resting posture, right? That shoulder isn't fixed, but it's starting to come down. I think once we work on some low trap stuff and once we work on some T-spine extension rotation stuff, it's probably gonna clear up entirely, and then we should notice an improvement in position on her bench press. There's two components of thoracic mobility. There's thoracic rotation, thoracic extension. We dug into her trap and her scalene to get it down, and now we're gonna get that T-spine rotating. And then after that, we're gonna get the T-spine extending, and then we're gonna get the low trap on. And then after all of those things, we should notice an improvement in our bench positioning. So for the thoracic rotation, we're literally just, it's like the most physio, basic, entry-level drill of all time. It's called an open the book. So we're gonna take her through it. We should notice pretty easily, or pretty quickly rather, that super bad thoracic rotation. So if we can just improve it over the course of the set, we should notice an improvement in pressing.
Great.
All right, go ahead and lean out.
So should I lie this way?
Yeah. And then knees up, 90 degrees, good. And then you're gonna try to keep your knees on the ground like so.
Yeah.
And then rotate. Oh, look at that. And now come back. And now as you're coming back, I want you to push your arm forward and then open up. There you go. And then when you get into that end range, big breath in. Exhale, push further. Probably getting some cracks and pops.
Yeah.
All right, 2 more.
Definitely some cracks.
Yeah.
It feels good though.
Yeah. There you go. So we're gonna do 1 more rep. You're gonna try to get that wrist to the ground. Don't reach with your fingers, just try to get the wrist.
Okay.
Push, 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 and switch sides.
Oh, that was hard.
Yeah. So the thing that you're typically going to notice in people that are quite muscular is they get really bound up through the T-spine because everything, like all the weight that we use is it's just intense on our skeleton, and the skeleton gets stiff. So super normal. And then we're gonna notice probably that this side's a little bit better. Yeah, a little bit better, right? So rotating to the left is better. Rotating to the right is worse. And that rotating to the right is what she was struggling with because that scap wasn't staying in the right position. There you go.
Right.
Yeah, they're both really good. Yeah.
I feel like all powerlifters should do this anyway.
Yes, yes. Good, hand up. All right, and then the next one we're gonna do, this is just gonna be a T-spine extension over essentially just a bench. So super simple. You're gonna kind of trap the bottom of your scap on the barbell on the bench. You're gonna sit directly below it. I mean, there's no sense in me explaining it because you're gonna see it in 30 seconds, but you're T-spine extending over that bar and forcing yourself to kind of extend through kind of those upper ribs and through the sternum as opposed to just cranking through your lumbar spine, which is what most powerlifters do because they have a stiff T-spine. All right, so all we're gonna do here, so you're gonna put your hands behind your head like you're getting arrested, and then you're going to scoot your butt back like probably a ½ an inch, and then you're going to throw your head back, push your head back in your hands and pull your elbows back. And then you're gonna take a big breath in your chest, and you're gonna push further. And then big breath in your chest, push further. 2 more. There you go. Try to drive those elbows back as hard as you can. There, 1 more.
Or some clicks.
There you go, 1 more. Push, 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 and done. Good. So now, because we've unlocked through, gotten her trap out of her ear, we've unlocked through thoracic rotation. Now this thoracic extension, if we had done this at the beginning, she would not have been able to get this far back. So the last thing we're gonna do is to get that low trap on. And the purpose of that is to keep that shoulder blade from winging out and sliding up along the side of the rib cage, which is her problem on pressing. So we're gonna show you what that looks like. Super, super simple. We'll get into that now. Last thing we're doing is an incline Y raise. Once again, super basic physio exercises, simple stuff fucking works. So all we're gonna do, it's a slight difference in cueing. I stole this from Andrew Clayton. With an incline Y raise, in order to actually throw yourself into thoracic extension and actually get that low trap to contract in thoracic extension, which is what we want in the press, All she's gonna do is when she gets into that overhead position, she's gonna throw her head through to get another 10 or 15 degrees of the thoracic extension. And she's gonna feel that really gnarly cramp in her mid back / low trap that we're trying to get and emulate on the press. So you're gonna go ahead. I want you to do 10 good ones, 1 count holding the top. Head through, head through, head through. Good. And try to keep them a little bit further forward.
Yeah.
Throw through, throw through, throw through. There. Oh, so bad.
Oh, so sore.
Yeah. 8 more. 7. And squeeze them as tight as you can with your hands. Bear down. That's it. So we never want to have someone be relaxed through their hands when they're doing an exercise that's trying to turn muscles on, because they can kind of cheat around it with passive mobility. There you go. There you go. And try to make a muscle right there. Good. Now on these last couple, I want you to drive as hard as you can. Drive through, drive through, drive through, drive through, head up, look to the sky, look to the sky, look to the sky, and down. Let's go 1 more. Uno más. Push, 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 look up, look up, look up, look up, look up, look up, and done.
Oh, that was so tough.
That was really hard.
You ever thought
Yeah.
such a small weight?
I know.
So difficult.
It was really hard. It was really difficult. It was with 2.5 pound plates, right? 1.25 kilos or 1.13 kilos for those overseas. So now we're gonna go into bench. We're gonna see how the bench looks. It should look pretty fucking good. All right, so now we're gonna kind of see what her bench looks like. The expectation and the hope is that she has less lumbar extension, more T-spine extension on her bench. We're gonna coach her through what that unrack is supposed to look like on the bench. And then we'll add a little bit of weight and we'll ask her how it feels. And I bet my bottom dollar that it's gonna feel better. All right, cool. So let's get into it. So the big thing that she's gonna be focusing on is not making sure she's not too far down the bench on the unrack. When you're too far down the bench on the unrack, you end up having to shrug up to get out of the rack. And then if we're shrugged up, we're also gonna protract, and then you're benching from here as opposed to here, right? This is good, this is bad. So she's gonna get weight up onto her neck. She's gonna push her head down into the pad, right? Almost think neck into the pad, shoulders out of your ears. And then she's gonna create tension in the J-hook with her lats, feel the muscle kick on. She's gonna pull the bar out of the rack. Once the bar's out of the rack, now she's gonna pin her shoulder blades together, squeeze, and now she's gonna go. Press. Good. I want you to think about it. As you press, push your toes through the end of your shoes. Drive. There you go. Uno más. Rack it. How'd that feel?
A lot more compact.
A lot more compact. That's how you know bench is good, because it feels fucking bad. Actually, I think Dave said that like 15 years ago.
Does it feel awful?
Yeah, because good bench feels bad. All right, let's add some weight.
Cool.
And the last thing I want you to be conscious of is just bearing down through your pinky on the unrack. So I almost want you to think about like pinky tension, like you'd have on a lat pull down.
Yeah.
And you're keeping that pinky squeezed in, and then you're squeezing the scaps, and then you're going. Scooch up just a tiny bit. Now pull your shoulder blades out of your ears. There. Big breath in. Huge breath in. Good. Now squeeze scaps. Good. Press. Tighter with the hands, tighter with the pinkies. Good. Uno más. Right. Okay, so she showed us something that's very, very common. When you see shaking in the arm, this is a good thing for you to know as well.
Yeah.
When you see shaking in the arm, that is the bicep and the tricep trying to stabilize the shoulder because the shoulder isn't stable through low trap in rhomboid. So that for us has to be it's a leading indicator that something's gonna happen when things get heavier. So a couple things we have to be conscious of.
Yeah.
On that one, we went back to a little bit of push out of the rack as opposed to the pull and tricep extension.
Yeah.
Right, so it's almost like have you ever done like a PJR pullover?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that exact same sensation.
Okay.
That's what an unrack on a bench should feel like. And once you're out there, and if you feel that shaking, it's a squeeze again hard through the pinkies and a re-squeeze of scaps.
Okay. Should we demo that?
100%. And then as you're pushing like horizontal with that leg drive, you're pushing your weight onto your neck and your shoulders out of your ears. So you're using the traction on that pad to pull your scaps down. Good. Now pin your scaps. Good. Much better. Uno más. Press. Rack.
Yeah, that was way better.
That looked a lot better.
It felt like a slightly shorter range of motion.
Well, here's the thing. You don't actually have to be strong if you just don't have any range of motion on bench. This is what blows my mind. It's like people will go insane with bodybuilding and doing all this stuff. And then it's like, you know what you could do? You could work on your T-spine mobility and you probably add 25 pounds to your bench. You don't even have to add any muscle. You just have to add mobility. It's like, come on, man. And use the traction of the bench to really get your scaps in your back pocket. So you're pushing, there you go. Now push up till your collarbones are in line with the bar. So you're too far down, right? So keep scooching to me. Keep scooching to me. Keep scooching to me. Now big breath in. Now pull. Good. Now squeeze your scaps right now. Squeeze. Good. Press. Rep. That's cheating.
Woo.
That's how you cheat. Hell yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
You see how short the unrack is that way though?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like before I was like having to almost stretch out,
Yeah.
but that felt a lot
Now it's just
nicer.
right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I'm setting like so much closer
Yeah.
than I was before.
Scooch a little further up, tiny bit. There we go. Huge breath in. Shoulders out of your ears. Right side down harder. There. Big breath in. Now pin your scaps. Good. Press. Fuck yeah, dude. Woo. How does that feel?
That feels heavy now.
Good.
Yeah,
Well,
it
you haven't
feels-
benched in a while, so
It feels good though.
Yeah. yeah.
Like I'm a lot closer. I feel more compact.
Yeah.
The range of motion feels shorter.
Yes.
I just feel more stable and solid.
It looks more stable and solid.
Yeah.
So this is why you got to work on your T-spine mobility, folks, because you are an all-time world record holder, correct?
Yes.
So if an all-time world record holder is still doing your mobility, there is no reason you shouldn't. Okay. Have a good day.